to W-2C or not W-2C? That is the question. And we've got the answer. My name is Christina, president of Valor Payroll Solutions, and we focus on helping small business owners with their payroll. So every year, W-2s go out, and it never fails that employees are coming to you asking for you to make changes. Now, sometimes, unfortunately, a W-2C may be required, but a lot of times that may not be the case. So we'll start with the easy part. When an employee's address is wrong on their W-2, you do not need to issue a corrected W-2 or W-2C. The employee can still file their taxes even if the address is incorrect or outdated. But of course, if you mailed them a copy and they didn't receive it because of that address, you will have to find a way to get them a new copy of their W-2. But again, you do not have to actually go and refile the W-2 or issue a W-2C for an address correction. Another small thing that does not require a W-2C is the middle initial. So if the employee's middle initial is incorrect or omitted, or maybe you put one in there that shouldn't be in there, none of those would require you to issue a W-2C. The employee should still be able to file their taxes just fine as long as their first and last name are correct and their social security number is accurate. Now, unfortunately, as I said, there are some instances where you will have to file a W-2C. And that would be if the employee's name, like first or last name, is incorrect, if their social security number is incorrect, even if it's just off by a single digit, that would require you to issue a new W-2 or W-2C. If the employee's wage amounts are not correct, or any of the amounts reported in boxes 12 or 14 are inaccurate, again, unfortunately, you will have to go ahead and file a W-2C. Any of that pertinent information that would affect the calculation of their taxes would require you to issue a new form. Now, keep in mind, when you do a W-2C, you are only submitting the information that was not accurate the first time. So for example, if you're doing a W-2C only to correct an employee's social security number, you will only be filling out the employee's demographic information at the top with the originally reported and the corrected information, and you will not report any wage or tax information on the W-2C. If you're correcting a wage or tax amount, you would only correct those fields showing the original amount and the corrected. You would never file a W-2C with information in the original and corrected columns that are the same. What this means, though, is that when the employee gets their W-2C, they're going to think that they have an incomplete W-2. So you will need to let them know that they will need their original W-2 and the W-2C that you have filed for them in order to file their taxes. Now, the W-2s were due to employees by January 31st. So if you don't have them out yet, you are late. Keep in mind, now there are many payroll platforms that have electronic W-2 options available, but you as the employer are still required to provide them with a paper form unless they have specifically opted in to receiving their W-2 electronically. What this means is even if the employee has access to that W-2 through an employee portal or app, if they haven't specifically told you that they're okay with not getting a paper form, then you are still legally required to provide them with that paper copy. And it doesn't matter their reason why. This is to ensure that anybody, regardless of technology capabilities, has access to that W-2 information. Now, again, if you are having to do some corrections, you want to make sure you get those in as quickly as possible. Your employees will likely be asking you over and over for their updated W-2 so that they can file their taxes. But the main deadline was January 31st to get those original W-2s out in the mail, handed out, however you distributed them. And again, even if the employee has access to their W-2 electronically, You still have to get them a paper form unless they have specifically told you or opted in to electronic copies. Otherwise, again, you have the obligation to get them that paper form. So as always, if you have questions, please feel free to drop them below. This is a free resource for you where you don't have to go and Google things or run off to ChatGPT. You can talk to a real payroll expert that's here to answer your questions. And of course, you can always find this online at valorpayrollsolutions.com.